Hello, welcome to Potato Garden Podcast. Hello, listeners of the future. I hope you enjoy this episode. Today, myself again, Jonathan, is here with Troy, Ethan,
Hello.
Hello.
Jordan,
Hey.
Joel,
Hello.
and Cam.
Yes, I'm here.
He made it in. So,
I made it.
how's everyone's day going?
I'm swell.
That's good. So,
I got up at 6.
in recent news, John Cena apologized in Chinese, saying that Taiwan wasn't a country.
Bruh.
Whoa. There's some high. We're getting banned tonight.
Told you, boys.
Oh boy. Cam,
And-
with your relevant WWE knowledge, and we
What?
take this at its face value. Is John Cena being sincere, or is he getting paid by the WWE network?
He is 500% getting paid.
Not by the WWE network, though. I think it's
for
the new movie.
Yeah, Fast and the Furious 9.
Yeah.
Or
I don't know. Whichever one. AT-84.
He's in Fast and Furious?
I
yeah,
think so.
Oh.
It's
That's news to
it's
me.
a movie, and I believe that's why he's apologizing, because that means he won't get banned in China. That
yeah,
more movie sales.
Ah.
Yeah.
yeah.
Makes
Which
sense.
honestly, I think it's kind of pathetic. I'm calling you out, John Cena.
Oh, Jonborgva versus John Cena.
Come on,
I
let's
don't think
The battle
Hold up.
of
Do-do-do. Do-do-do-do.
I don't
No.
think you can call out John Cena though, because you can't really see him.
Bruh.
Are you sure about that?
Edge. Well, I would. Hey, maybe John Borg, you can use one of my photos from when I went to Zambia. I gave away my favorite T-shirt that was John Cena. I got it from the Richmond Night Market in Vancouver. Somebody printed. I believe it's illegal. I don't know if purchasing is illegal, but definitely what they did was illegal, because they just put John Cena all over this T-shirt, and it's really, really, it's an eyesore, but it's my favorite shirt, and so I left my whole suitcase there, and as such, somebody got a John Cena T-shirt, and it was pretty cool.
Huh. I didn't know about that. That's pretty interesting. So Jordan, you were in the
Hello.
military, eh?
I am in the military currently.
Still is. He's one of those battle trumpeteers. He runs in with his
Yes.
trumpet, and he gives the morale boost like the bards.
Yeah, I was gonna ask.
Yeah,
So
he buffed everyone.
you're
what I
a
mean.
bard.
Basically, I
A
guess you
real
could say
life
that.
bard.
A real life bard, yeah. That's
You're like
basically all I
them.
do, you know.
You're like the drummer boy in the I can't remember what century it is where they all like lined up in formation and then just shot each other.
I think that's like the 18th, isn't it? It's not that long ago,
Probably.
I don't think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
The
yeah,
muskets-
Muskets and cannons.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say 17th century. That's why I didn't want to.
I think the fun fact is, I think the reason why they went from lining up and shooting was as soon as they developed the shape of the bullet from like a ball into like a cone shape, then the guns shot so much harder and more accurately that then it made no sense to stand in a big line. But
I also-
before then, they were shooting balls, and you could just walk like 10 feet away from them, you wouldn't even hit them.
I also
Okay. Fact check here.
Oh.
Google
Yep.
says, when did we line up and shoot each other? Response: line infantry was the type of infantry that composed the basis of European land armies from the late 17th century to the middle of the 19th
Ooh.
century.
Middle 19th,
Oh.
18th, Pog, we got it.
18th is all included in there, so that
Yep,
we weren't
We
wrong.
got it.
We were all
I
right.
can
Yeah.
I can tell you for a fact that in Canadian military training, we don't do that, but they still teach us trench warfare,
Oh no.
We don't,
which is
we don't do
why I
that,
got
but
trench foot.
You
But
guys,
we do a lot of other really dumb things, though. That's what I'm sure.
Each other,
so
but
your
below the
fe-
ground?
Your feet get wet and then fungus develops.
Yes. Okay. So
That's the basis
I
of
did
trench warfare. It's
some-
actually to get fungus on your enemy's feet. Yep, got it.
I
Spot
don't.
on.
I don't know why they still teach us trench warfare, but they do. And I had to take a course a few years ago, and we had to dig trenches, and it poured rain for the entire week we were in the field. And a week's not that long, but it is when it's cold and rainy. And my trench was probably full with about 4 or 5 inches of water, and
Oh man.
like my boots weren't waterproof.
Oh,
So-
Jordan, you got those American GI boots.
Well,
You
they're
think,
Canadian, but yeah.
You think it would be to, because I know the army and sometimes like even like firefighters, police officers and stuff, if there's ever flooding and like natural disaster, you do have to move sandbags, and I'm assuming you would also dig some form of trench. It probably isn't super relevant, but they could be useful.
No, like
for you.
it is useful. Like, and we do a lot of sandbags, especially for flooding. That's like one of the big things we use sandbags for. And for fires, when we do fire control, we do a lot of digging and stuff for that. So it's useful for that. But I do have waterproof boots. I just didn't wear them,
Why didn't you wear
which was
that?
maybe my
John
my
Borg
first
heard-
mistake.
John Borg heard trench warfare and his image in his head, or sorry, Jordo did, and it's just the Sahara Desert where they're in their trenches.
I was
Yeah.
okay, so I wore my waterproof boots on a different course, and I had a bad experience with them where they gave me some gnarly blisters.
Oh.
So I was like, it'll be fine, I won't wear them. But then I regretted it on the first day when it poured rain, and it didn't stop pouring rain for 5 days.
And where was
'cause
that?
they're
Was that on, like in Alberta or?
no, this was in Chilliwack in the beginning of June
Oh,
in
okay.
2018.
So that's BC, right? I
Yeah,
don't know
yeah.
what the mainland's like.
Chilliwack is like an hour and a half out of Vancouver, like towards the mountains.
Oh yeah, that place would definitely get a bunch of water.
Yeah, it's pretty
It's
wet
the
there.
land of corn.
Hey, so
Corn?
Jordan, I got
Yes,
a question
lot
about
of-
the
lot of
military.
farms. Okay.
So you're going out on maneuvers and you got your pack on you. Are you allowed to take some personal shoes? Like, could you have like taped some muck boots to the outside of your backpack to bring along just in case, or is that not allowed?
Like you can, but why would you want to take extra weight when it's already like 80 pounds?
Mhm.
Right?
Okay.
Like I would have brought my boots with me. I had them originally packed, my Gore-Tex waterproof boots. I had them packed. But then I was assigned to take the radio, which is an additional 40 pounds.
Oh yeah.
So I was like, well, okay, I need to cut weight out because otherwise my pack is going to be super heavy, and it already was super heavy. A fun fact, we were running through the bush, and I got whacked by a tree branch, and I fell on my back with my pack, and I turtled. I couldn't get up without taking my pack off.
Dude, you would have died in warfare.
Yes, you are 100% right.
Dude,
I
that's
am
the
a
real
very good
reason.
soldier.
That's the real reason they teach you trench warfare is unless you're in trenches, people can come over and like
Stab you.
push you down
Yes.
and you won't be able to do anything.
But also, I'm wearing camo, so I'm just invisible, right? You know?
Yeah.
We're,
That's how it
They
works.
might accidentally walk into you and knock you over. So
Right. Yeah, we
Hey,
actually on that course too though we had to learn how to do a recce, which was cool.
What's
you gotta be
that?
pretty stealthy. Reconnaissance.
Oh, reconnaissance.
had to, like-
Cool.
Yes, we call it recce for short. So we had to like, there was when we do these courses, there's like an opposition force, which are the bad guys, and so we had to like kind of sneak up on them and like listen to what they were saying, and they taught us how to do that stealthily.
Stealth video games have taught me something.
That was kind of fun. The rest of it was not fun, but
Well, yeah, you're probably crouching a lot and maybe even like on your stomach.
yes, we also didn't sleep for almost the whole time.
Oh, jeez.
I got maybe 2 hours of sleep over the 5 days we were in the field, 5 or 6 days.
So after that,
So-
were you like fatigued?
Yes, I think I slept for like 14 hours straight after the first day after the course ended.
Wow. That's
So-
that's cool. I mean that's not cool, but like that's interesting, right? Like
Yeah. Yeah, they actually, I just found out a couple days ago, they just axed that course for every non-combat trade. So if I were to join now, I wouldn't have to do that course.
what?
So
Why did? Oh, okay, that's weird.
I think they're just out
because
of money.
he's a tutor. He goes in the combat and toots his tutor.
Mhm.
He doesn't need to go. He doesn't need to go dig trenches.
He also doesn't need to go try and sneak up on the enemy holding his trumpet.
No.
He's
It
gonna
is-
scare them. He's gonna go very sneaky. He's gonna wait until the eye icon goes fully closed, and then he's gonna
It is-
sneak up and do
yes.
that surprise toot.
It's completely irrelevant to my trade as a musician in the Canadian Forces. The main thing I do is play Last Post on Remembrance Day in front of a bunch of people, and then they're like, "Wow, so meaningful." And
Well,
then I get
yeah.
a lot of thank you for your service, and
It is.
And then
meaningful.
you're like, I just play the trumpet.
yeah.
I mean, you
So-
could just say, "Yeah, I got TrenchFoot once, so thank you."
Yes.
I
Yeah.
I don't know how many people celebrating the trench foot, but
It's it was actually like really, really painful. I couldn't really walk.
Oh,
It felt like I was walking on rocks. When I didn't fully have trench foot, the medic said it was like the onset, but my fire team partner, he actually had to go to the hospital because his foot got really, really bad.
ooh,
So yeah.
Necrotic toe.
big sedge.
Yeah.
yeah, that's
So-
it's
So was
we-
he wearing the
Oh, sorry.
waterproof boots?
No, pretty much no one was wearing their waterproof boots because it was a 2-week course, and the first week was really, really beautiful and nice and warm, and then the second week, the week we were in the field, it was just disgusting and rainy and cold and wet.
Huh.
Ooh.
So
I mean, that's pretty interesting. Like, it's kind of weird how did we ever learn about TrenchFoot before World War One? Like, was it ever discovered before then?
Probably, but like it also probably wasn't called that.
Yeah, my guess is it's not
It-
not called trench foot, but it just be
Yeah, it was probably like
swamp foot.
The
Well, no-
old foot.
I was ye old. It was probably not as common, and so like that's when World War One happened, and then oh this thing that's happening to our feet. Oh, TrenchFoot.
Ah,
yeah, it was
Alright.
really bad in World War One. That's kind of where the name trench foot came from.
Yeah,
Solid Wikipedia article right here, boys. Trench foot was first reported in 1812 by the French army surgeon Dominique Jean Larrey when Napoleon's army was retreating from Russia.
Oh,
Wow.
Thank you,
Very
fact check
nice.
man.
yes, thank
Fat
you.
Chick Man.
That is your job now. You signed up for
Keeping
it.
keeping the truth of the podcast up is an important job.
I'm just
Exactly.
here so Troy doesn't lie to you. That's all.
Yeah.
Another topic I have, I don't think Troy and Jordan and Joel and Cam might know about it, but the artist
So
of
basically,
Yeah,
might
Ethan.
know.
All right, that's my time, boy.
you've probably heard of this, but
I'm kidding.
You left. Damn
I'm
you!
back.
The artist of Berserk and the mangaka, he passed away recently. Actually,
That he did. It was a big thing. Yes.
yeah, it's unfortunate. I pay my respects to the king.
well, can you play Guts theme in remembrance of him?
Oh.
There you go.
No, Jordan probably could play it on his trumpet.
I have
But
no idea what you're talking about, but
it's
I could
it's
maybe
it's manga, Jordan. You're
Okay.
weeb stuff.
Wait a second.
mean-
How could you play a theme in manga unless they give you sheet music in the manga?
No, it's
Dank.
just from like the 90s.
1997
Anime,
anime
yeah.
adaptation.
Ah, okay, so it's interesting.
And it's a meme, but it just suits what just
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah. But what did you want to know? My thoughts on it?
Yeah,
Or
Yeah.
personally, I mean, kind of. I mean, I guess sad, but like again, not really. You know, I didn't know the guy.
Mhm.
I enjoy his work. It's just kind of sad that he just doesn't put out a lot of his stuff, or didn't at least.
Yeah, it's
So
unfortunate.
there's like
he was
huge breaks in between like chapters that have been put out. But
Yeah, I heard from some of my peers in the anime community that
No, anime community peers? No.
he was really hooked on this thing called an idol game or whatnot.
Yeah, he was addicted to something, and yeah. It was interesting. The saddest part for me is that the website I used to read Berserk is down.
Oh no.
And the reason why it's down is because the database got hacked and all of the personal information got out.
Was that a pirate website?
No.
Okay.
But it was like
incriminate yourself now, Ethan.
It was an
Do it in
actual.
front of all.
Oh, it was an actual.
Yeah, it's called Megadex.
Oh right. I think I remember that.
But they got hacked by a malicious hacker, and then they're like, "Yeah, so we're not gonna give in, but here's what you can do to help secure all of your stuff." And they've been updating every since. There's like a Discord on it, and you can follow them on Twitter, and they'll update you there. The last update, I'm looking at it now, was May 6th, so the beginning of this month.
Okay.
Basically, they've put out a API documentation, which is it's like an open beta testing thing where you can read all of your stuff. You have to download it though.
Oh right.
But you can't edit or upload any of your own personal work. It's only things that have existed on that site before.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
So
that's unfortunate.
And it's such a scuffed thing that I looked at, so I'm like, I'm just gonna wait until they make their next version of the website.
Yeah.
They are working on that, but anyways, that's what I have to say. I'm sad that he died. I'm sad that I didn't get to finish reading it on the website that I was reading on.
Oh yeah.
So now I'm just waiting until I can actually finish it. I was so close too. I was like chapter 300 and something.
Wow. I haven't started yet, even though I got that book.
Yeah, dude, it's good.
But anyways, Troy, you said you got some questions.
Yes, I do. I have quite a few.
Oh
Nice.
boy.
But we can work through them all and see how far we get. The
Sounds
first one we were gonna do, and now I know we're not all weebs, but I do know we all play video games, and most of these video games we've all played before. So we're gonna play a game, and you're gonna
Skyrim.
called "What's this quote from?" And I'm pretty sure you've all played these games.
Oh
Some
no.
of the quotes might be a little bit harder than the other stuff.
Hold up.
and
How's the answer format gonna be? Is it like everyone says their
first
answer
person
and
to
then...
shout it out?
No.
No. I'll give you about like 5 seconds to think of it, and then we'll go. Let's go top down.
Hold on. Is there a point system and like prizes or like?
No. This I only picked like 6 quotes. I didn't go full in, but actually maybe a few more than 6. But because I got some other questions to get through. Okay,
You know what?
First...
Whoa, 1 second. You know how we could answer is first person type the correct answer in the general chat in Discord.
True.
The
And
podcast
you
chat.
could be like, yeah, John.
Okay.
here.
You could just
How
put the
about
podcast chat.
chat?
Yeah.
Okay.
Podcast chat. There we go.
Okay. So you can use abbreviations, short forms, as long as I know for a fact you know who I'm talking about. Okay, the first one is a quote
What
from.
if I'm not gonna type? I
That's
just
okay.
know.
You will. I'm sure you'll know most of them. Okay, the first one is, I thought I'd try shooting my way out, mix things up a little.
That sounds familiar.
It better sound familiar, Jonborg.
Is that Halo?
It might be Jonborg.
Can I get a read?
Yeah, I know that one. I know who it is. Joel probably knows what it is.
Joel's typing.
I'm not in. I don't even own an Xbox.
And now the bonus question: which Halo game is it from?
Reach?
Oh,
It's
incorrect.
not from Reach.
No.
sounds like something would be in Reach.
Shall I tell
If
you?
it's before Reach, I probably don't know it.
I
Cam
think it's
can tell
3.
you.
Is it
Oh.
3?
Cam, go for it.
It is Buck from ODST.
Ah.
Ooh.
Dang, I
Was
thought I
I thought this is Master Chief, and I believe it's Halo 3. But they also might have done a like a callback. So they might have had it twice. I can't say that for sure.
wait.
Wait.
Let me Google it. What was the quote?
Google it.
Full quote.
It's I thought I'd try to shoot my way out and then mix
Taken
things
from
up a
Halo
little.
3.
I believe
And-
so, and I believe it's when Cortana's down by the grave mine, and Master
And
Chief is
mixing
in
it.
there.
Oh, yes.
I
okay.
believe that's where it is.
No,
I'm not
but
a-
you're right. That is 100% where it is. I was confused.
Okay,
Yep,
good,
I've
good,
got
good.
it here.
Good
Halo
father.
3. Yeah. Right here.
Okay. Our next one. Now, I believe most of you have played a game from the series. You might not have played this particular game, but if you get the series, you're good. Okay.
I used to be
Well,
an adventurer like you until I took a nap.
If only I had Jonborg's voice acting skills, it would be much better. You sleep rather soundly for a murderer.
Mario Kart.
Easy.
Mario.
Easy.
Oh yeah.
You sleep
All right.
soundly for a murderer.
Rather soundly for a murderer. We're gonna
Huh.
take a bonus point for if you can get the character, because I'm sure some of you guys know this.
Easy.
Is that Assassin's Creed?
It
No.
is not Assassin's Creed. It's a
Hmm.
good guess though. It is Oblivion for sure. It is not the Gray Fox, unfortunately.
Oh, it's the
I don't know his. I
it's-
can't remember his name.
It's like
Lucian
Oh.
Lachance.
Yeah.
That's true. Yep, that is him. And
I
yeah,
haven't played Oblivion in like 8 years. Okay.
it's
So-
true. We're called. I mean, when was the last time we all played Halo 3? Okay.
fair.
Last time I played it was with Joel.
I
Yeah,
did
probably
play.
same.
Yeah, I think I played most of these games in the last 5 years. Most of them have a remake. Okay. Next one we have I don't. Okay, we'll just it'll be fair because the total amount of quotes we'll get everybody involved. Okay, who are you that do not know your history?
What?
Who are you? What?
It says, "Who are you that do not know your history?"
Who are you that do not know your history?
Yeah, not proper grammar, but that is the quote, I believe.
Oh, it could be plural.
I've never heard
That's
that.
that's a
quote.
very. I don't know.
I've never played this game. I picked it up for a special man in the podcast, and I either been let down by this quote or Jonborg does not know his Fallout New Vegas quotes.
Oh no!
Jonborg.
Wait, who says that?
It says Ulysses says this.
Oh well, yeah, he's DLC stuff.
Oh, okay.
How could you even bring up DLC stuff?
Sorry, I should have mentioned.
But I mean, he
DLC.
is a big part of the game. But I haven't played that in like the DLC that he's from, the Divide. He's another courier that like you ended up like blowing up a city or whatnot by accident, and he's like trying
Whoa!
to take
Spoilers.
Okay, yeah.
The game's
Please,
been
dodge the
out,
spoilers,
Ethan,
John.
for a long time.
All
We
right.
already spoiled Oblivion and Halo, so
You're gonna have to put a big spoiler warning on this podcast, Jonborg.
And Fallout New Vegas spoiler.
Probably get more listens that way.
Well, it's
all right.
It's not really a spoiler to say, because when you first start the Divide, that's basically what he says, and like depending on your playthrough, right, you can choose your ending. So
Yes, sir.
All right. The next one. Now this is a rather savage quote from an unexpectedly savage game. Some of you might play this game on the GameCube. There's your hints, because it might be a tough one.
Oh dang!
Don't
I didn't
wait.
have a GameCube.
Okay, unfortunate for you. Don't wish it were easier. Wish you were better. Who says this and in what game? Yeah, actually, not even who, just what game, because it's hard.
Kingdom Hearts.
Might be on the right.
You must get the heart, Sora.
Is that the one with all the Disney characters?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, no. This game had a recent remake, and I would call it a normie game.
You would call it a...
Bejeweled.
I would call it a normie game, found on Nintendo consoles, so it's gotta be normie.
Tetris.
This is from Animal Crossing.
Oh.
Oh.
So where it's like...
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, what's
I guess
the quote?
technically they don't say it. They say, "Don't wish it were easier. Wish you were better." And it's Chief from
Hooray.
Animal Crossing. So basically, he says,
That's a
it's
great
embrace the toughness of the challenge, but also just wish you were better. Savage.
Get
Okay.
good, bro.
Get good.
I believe we've all played a game from the series, maybe not this particular one. This quote starts with, "Nothing is true. Everything is permitted."
Oh, geez. Assassin's Creed did.
Yes, yep. And from the main
God,
character. Yep. Okay.
Altair, or whatever his name is.
Ezio Auditore.
Oh. Well, they all
Oh,
say
that's the
it.
one
Come
I've
on.
played,
You
too.
can say it.
It's
You
like-
can say it in an accent. I believe in you.
Ezio Auditore.
Thanks, Troy.
There you go. Yeah, Assassin's Creed 2, which I believe, I don't even know when that would have come out. Back in the old Xbox
was-
days.
So,
Sure.
I mean, the only
A
memory I
long
have
time
of
ago.
that game is launching people off of buildings and
Mhm,
watching them hit
mhm.
beat.
Yeah.
I
That's
remember.
the
I
only
think
memory
that's-
I have.
I think that's the only Assassin's Creed game I've played all the way through as well. But
Okay.
it was like years and years ago.
I played through 1, 2, Brotherhood, Revelations, and that's it.
Oh, Assassin's Creed 2 was released in 2009. That's older than I thought.
It went downhill after 2.
All
I
right.
don't know. I still had a lot of fun with some of them.
We're
Yeah.
mixing it up. Here we go. The best solution to a problem is usually the easiest one. And I'll be honest, killing you is hard.
Is that Portal?
That is from Portal, Jonborg. Yes, there's
'Cause
GLaDOS.
it just sounds like something Gladys would say.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I'll be honest, killing you is hard. When you hear that, you're like kind of happy, but then you're also like, oh shoot.
Thanks for the compliment.
Yep. All right.
Gotta be honest, haven't played through Portal.
Me either.
Whoa.
No. Wow.
I'm gonna play Portal 2.
Yeah.
The co-op
it is a classic.
experience.
I played the co-op with I think Adam White.
Nice.
Yeah. Haven't heard from him in a while, but yeah, that was good times.
Yeah, it's Orange Box, good old TF. What is it called? Team Fortress. Yeah, Team Fortress 2.
Engine.
Yep, the source. Yeah. All right. It's dangerous to go alone. Take this.
Oh geez, this is a hard one.
Oh, I know this.
Wow. Wait a
Oh.
second. Is that...
This is
could it be
this is
Halo?
probably from many different games, but
Quick.
the one that I'm talking about, I believe this comes up in actually multiple of their
Legend
games.
of
so-
It's from Ocarina of Time.
Legend
It has-
Legend of the Link.
Yeah.
yes,
It's from
Legend of the
Ocarina
Link.
of Time. I just played that like last summer.
Oh really?
Yeah, I believe
Yeah.
it's in many Zelda games, but yes, the
I think
Legend of
Ocarina of
Zelda.
Time's the first time it appeared though. It's
I thought
Navi
it-
to Link.
I thought it was already. It appeared like in the NES version because I remember seeing a picture where it is like the 8-bit or whatnot, and then you just talk to this old wolf.
Yep, the old man. You're
Man, and
very
he's like,
correct,
"Take
Jonborg.
this sword."
What was the
All
quote?
right.
Oh, okay.
It's dangerous
So-
to go alone. Take this.
Yeah, take this. It's in text. Okay. Now we could go on for a while, but we'll get to the next topic or some of the next ones.
Speaking of topics, I have an image to share that you all can give me your your thoughts on it.
He wants to
He wants those 3 special digits, John Borg.
No, look at the image I posted in memes, and
Alright,
now
alright.
describe it.
It looks like my room.
It's the Epic Gamer Dungeon.
Okay, the cursed part about this is the 3 monitors of all different sizes. Everything else is fine, but the fact that
It's the man cave.
he's got Jordo's
Man cave.
TV screen there, and then he's got a laptop on the left there, I think, and then another monitor there.
And then there
That
was
is pretty
like a
crazy.
audio setup. I mean, like a machine that you would put in for like sound stuff. The name's eluding me. And there's also a drawing tablet and a cat.
Wacom tablet, yeah, and the cat.
And
You
a
know-
cat
you know
on
what?
a fireplace. That cat is not well trained. Gonna burn his butt.
So here's what stood out to me in this picture. While it is kind of chaotic, the floor and the stovetop are very clean.
True.
Oh,
So
it
that
wasn't
beats-
clean there at all. It's just the way I took the photo.
It looks
Let's look
clean.
at the posters.
So I was
Let's look
just
at the
gonna-
posters more closely.
I was just gonna say it's like, someone games there, but also it's a slight public place, so someone has to clean it.
We got a toilet poster in the background. I don't know what the second one is there. I can't tell the other ones.
The second one is Geralt,
The Witcher.
but it stank in there.
Jonborg, don't dox yourself.
What? I'm not giving the address. We're not showing the picture.
Give me the 4 special digits on the front of your house and the street name.
123.
1, 2, 3.
Alexander Way.
Big
Ah,
Street. All right. Okay. The next question I had. This was a thought I said to myself. What are the odds that we have a next global pandemic in the next 20 years?
That's a good question.
Do you think it'll happen?
In
In the next 20 years?
20 years. Yep.
in a
'cause,
decade.
I am being a kind of a little bit of a. I'm not necessarily being intellectually dishonest, but I do happen to know it's about 20 years for every flu pandemic to happen.
Right.
This is about the
Wait,
average.
what was 20 years ago? Was it the swine flu?
So yeah, so
No,
2006.
SARS.
I think
SARS.
2006 was H1N1, which was actually pretty big. SARS definitely happened, but I think that was that not the 80s?
Well, SARS was like early 2000s, like before swine flu.
Why does SARS sound like some communist
Well,
propaganda?
okay, so
Because it came from
SARS,
China.
SARS is just so let's see if I can remember this. Severe acute respiratory syndrome. So SARS is just like you can have multiple diseases that give you SARS. So for example, right now, COVID can give you SARS. COVID, SARS, V. What is it? COVID, SARS, V. What? I can't even remember what they call it. I haven't paid attention. I don't look at the news. But, and then also, I believe the SARS I think it was China last time, and that was the avian flu. I could be wrong. But yeah, SARS is actually just like, hey, this causes sudden acute respiratory syndrome. So,
Weird.
wait, is that what I said last time? I hope I said it right the first time I said it.
No,
but
you
that
said
is like
you
the
said
symptom.
sadly
Huh?
erratic.
Huh?
Yes, exactly what I said. So yeah, I said, oh, what are the odds? So basically, what I'm getting at is in the next 20 years, do you think we're going to do better, or do you think we're going to do worse from this point forward?
Worse.
After.
Hopefully better. I'm gonna say that. Hopefully better.
I'm being pessimistic right now, and I'll say worse.
You know,
But
I think
what is the reason for the
'Cause-
worse?
Just the amount of stupidity that has increased over the years is because of the internet, and then everyone has a voice, right? So
I don't know if
True.
it's
Hold on. In
because
the
of the
next
internet,
20 years,
but-
let's think logically about this.
Okay,
In the next
logically.
20 years, the Karens of this world will be what age?
yeah, but there will
They'll
be
be
new
like
ones.
they'll be like 60 or so.
Karens breed Karens.
There'll be new Karens. What do you mean? They're going to be called something else, John.
Karens.
Zooters?
Karens will get married, have children, and breed and bring in new Karens.
Well, there won't be. I'll contact your manager, Karens. It's going to be like, watch me do a Fortnite, Karens. Like that's the
Yeah.
next generation.
Watch me hack your laptop, Karen.
Maybe.
I got a question for you, Troy. Do you mean better or worse as in, will we do better and avoid having another pandemic, or will we do better at responding to a pandemic?
Or will that pandemic be just worse in general?
So I actually believe both of those are like pretty linked. So when we look at something like the HIV that happened, like we didn't control its spread, and it's kind of like I would say it's a global reoccurring issue that we need to address, and we kind of are addressing.
Wait, isn't HIV a sexual transmitted disease?
It can be. It can also be needle transmitted. Any kind of blood transfusions. I believe it also has a chance for saliva.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Without getting into too much detail, certain modes of transmission, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, are much more likely to transmit this virus.
So
what? Why it might be targeted at gay men that like they should go get tested, because one end of your body is a little bit more susceptible to getting transmitting HIV.
So what happens if all the people who have? So what happens if all the people who have HIV die?
If they all died,
yeah.
This is a very good question. Most likely the virus would go away. However, there's a possibility that we still have the animal reservoir out there. So most people think, I guess most researchers or people who study this, virologists, think that the simian immunovirus, which is like they think it's a precursor to the human immunovirus, which basically, comes from monkeys. So who knows if we got rid of all of the human HIV, would there be another crossover event where a human ends up getting it from a monkey? Possibly, and then it could spread again. But
you just need 2 monkeys.
Well, we do have we have the technology and like antivirals developed. So if that were to happen, we should be able to shut it down really, really quick. Whereas we're trying to play catch up with a virus that's like we've tried for 50 years now to develop the vaccine, and it doesn't really work. So.
Another reason why I think it will be worse is because people forget to take their antibiotics when they should still keep doing it, because then it just makes the virus stronger or something like that. I remember learning about that.
This is very close, Jonborgva, not the virus.
Bacteria?
Antibiotics are only
bacteria.
Only against bacteria, which is kind of true. It's very important to follow your doctor's orders. However, knowing a little bit more about it, it gets a little bit more complicated than that. So, I was talking to my brother who's in pre-med, and I have a degree in micro, so I've looked at it a little bit. It seems to be the case that you probably are sort of safe to take all of your antibiotics, so the prescription, even if you felt better a week in and they gave you 3 weeks of antibiotics, take all 3 weeks. You're probably safe to do that. However, best practice is probably to stop taking once you feel okay. And that is not what any of your doctors will say. However, I'm not a doctor, and it's not medical advice.
Just translation notice. Don't take advice from us. We are not doctors.
It's really multifaceted, because if you take a bunch of antibiotics, you can wipe out all of the bacteria, and then the ones that happen to colonize you first could be ones that are resistant because of all of the extra genetic information that's ready to be absorbed by the bacteria.
Genetic warfare.
And then, and so you do really want to keep some good bacteria around, and so if you finish your course, you get rid of all the good ones, then the bad ones are more likely to come back. It's a really complicated issue. It's kind of hard to.
Wow, that was a mouthful. Answer. It's interesting, honestly. Like, what's everyone else's take on that?
I think it depends on where you live,
That's true.
And the culture of where you live. Like, here in Alberta, there was a freaking rodeo 2 weeks ago because people are like, COVID doesn't exist. Screw the restrictions.
No.
And now there's cases linked to that rodeo.
Yeah, it's because they don't know they have it until like
Well, they also don't believe in it because it's the culture here, right? Like Alberta's been one of the worst provinces until like this week. Like Alberta was the worst province
thought
in Canada
Manitoba-
by
Alberta's the America
Manitoba
of
just took it.
Canada.
No, and Alberta had worse cases per capita than all of the U.S. And it's the culture here.
Listen, everyone. We need to cancel Manitoba. It's time for Womanitoba.
What?
Womanitoba. Very good.
No, it would just be Toba. You would eradicate the gender out of it.
Bruh, that is
They, they Toba, Cam? Not
They-
Because like,
Bruh.
remember,
Toba, Zem
G-Toba.
that reminds me of like this huge list of like gender things that they want to get rid of history, so it would just be story, I guess.
I mean, story.
Oh.
Yeah. Well,
So
unfortunately, that word already exists. It means
chairman,
something a little different.
make it just chair.
Chair. Yep. All they do is say
I
Toba.
am a chair.
Actually,
Sit on
speaking
me.
of that, Camosun does
Wait,
that.
isn't
Wait,
It's
what?
just the chair.
The
head
chair.
chair.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There is
Yeah.
pretty common,
actually,
yeah.
and then for my program that I'm in, he's the metal chair, and it's great.
Nice.
So he's the metal chairman.
No, he's just
Not
the
just a
metal,
metal
chair.
chair.
Ethan? Have you talked about what your program is on this podcast?
No,
That's
you
before?
haven't.
I haven't. No. So I guess speaking of metal chairs, I am in a college, Camosun College, going to basically be learning sheet metal and metal fabrication, and I have just been finishing up my sheet metal portion of that course, and just today was my first kind of introduction to the metal fab and welding portion of the course. So today was like oxyacetylene welding and cutting.
And I take that's really warm.
Oh, it's super hot. I'm in. Okay, so I'm in like Carhartt coveralls,
Yeah.
right? So there's like super thick, like denim-y material, and then underneath that you also have a set of cotton pants, and then you have like a cotton shirt, and then a cotton overshirt on, and then you've got a welding cap, and then you have your mask on because masks are still a thing,
Oh no.
right?
So you
you're
have this-
inside.
So you have this welding mask, right?
Yeah, that fogs up because you also have an actual mask on, and then you've got your safety goggles, and then you've got your welding goggles, and it's like, bruh.
That seems like it would be a health. I know we're in COVID, right? But it seems like it would be a health risk. Like, how do you breathe?
I mean, just take breaks and drink a lot of water, because I mean, there's a lot of people in that course, like, are pretty good at what they do. They're pretty quick at like picking up different tasks and new things. However, there's a
Don't say their name.
There- I'm
Just-
not. I'm not. There's a few different folks. Nicknames are Boy Toy and Big Boots. There's also a lovely person who I also won't name, but I also will say that he should have gone into basket weaving instead of sheet metal and metal fab. And he's got this great welding helmet. It's fantastically painted on. His welding helmet is a big, basically naked anime chick.
Wait, no,
Just her
seriously,
butt hanging out, and it's like, bruh, what is your welding helmet?
dude. Does he wear Ahegaho shirts underneath his welding stuff?
No, but we also have a guy who just hurts himself all the time, and
Oh, okay.
it's there's a few people who are just not good at it, and then today, because kind of going back to how hot it was, they were also just, they didn't really pay attention to like what they were supposed to do or the proper procedure, how they're supposed to do things. So they just started spraying sparks and molten metal and slag everywhere around the shop, and you're just basically trying to cover your ears so you don't have slag go in your ear. Because apparently that's a new world of hurt if you get
Ooh.
molten metal in your ear.
Yikes.
So, yeah, I halfway through the class, I put in earplugs because I was like, none of that for me.
Yeah, that would not be good.
That's yeah. The only reason why I brought up the Ahe Gaho shirt was because that would, like you said, he put big anime titties on his mask. It would seem,
Yeah, on his
I
welding
wouldn't
helmet.
be
It's like,
surprised if he would wear a shirt like that.
I mean, he's kind of a creepy dude, but you know,
Oh, that makes it worse.
yeah. I mean, he intends, his intentions are like well aimed, but it's just not. It doesn't hit.
Yeah.
Edge.
Yeah.
So, speaking of welding, I remember seeing a post that my cousin posted. He also took welding and stuff. There was a post where this guy jury welded his for a car or whatnot, and my cousin was like, "Oh, that's a death trap," and I was like, I could even see like it was really amateurish and not a safe what's it called? Because they were trying to weld a hull, of a car.
Yeah, just like the frame of the car.
Yeah, the frame. Yeah, that's one way. And it was like really, like I could tell it was bad.
Like, was it previously broken, or
Yeah.
so they just welded it up?
Yeah, I don't remember the exact details of it, but it was a long time ago. But
I mean, it might have looked ugly, like a lot of like buildup and slag and stuff, but
yeah,
it might have been okay, like at least for a little bit until they got it back to somewhere where they can actually fix it.
yeah, I guess that's true.
Because like a big thing in like if you're doing like trail running 4x4 stuff, some guys will actually bring along like a stick welding.
Oh, just in case they're
Just in case. Yeah, it's like, all right, stick welding, and they'll just like
that
fix
seems
up a
like
frame or
something
something.
my brother's friend would do.
Yeah. Oh, I know who does it.
Yeah. You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know that he does it. I also know that like he got his side mirror kicked in this weekend from the couch and old growth protesters.
What?
Nice.
He was just
Very
going
like-
up there to camp. All he was wanting to do was go camp, but he just happened to be on the road that the protesters were on, and they
That's a damage of property. I thought protesters were.
Imbeciles.
yeah. So here's how the story went as he told it. He was there with his buddies in his I don't know. There's like a lineup of lifted Subarus, and they're going in, and they see the line of cars and the protesters. There's no one out on the streets, but as soon as they hear a vehicle approach, everyone comes out with cameras and things and just starts filming them like slowly rolling by in their vehicles. And one of them apparently walks in front of his vehicle and turns around and doesn't move. Now, he asks him nicely and for a little bit to, hey, can you move? We're trying to
Is
trying
this
to go
on
camp.
a logging road or?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like up near Couchin. Anyways, he's like, hey, can you move or can we negotiate here? And the guy just doesn't answer, doesn't turn around, doesn't do anything. So he very lightly turns his steering wheel as far as he can, and then tries to go around the guy, but he touches him with the edge of his car, and the guy does the good old football overreact, fall to the ground, roll,
Oh my gosh.
and ah, you hit me. You're intentionally trying to run me over. That kind of a deal. And he got angry and kicked in his side mirror.
Man, those kinds of people are hard to deal with.
Yeah, I mean, they also had like the police sprinter vans that's taking out all the violent protesters up there.
Dang, man. Like, they were filming him?
What?
Were they who was filming them? Like, was it the guys in the car or the people walking?
So as soon as they hear a vehicle approach their
they
camp out spot, everyone comes out with their cameras and cell phones and starts videotaping just in case they
something
get
goes haywire.
quote unquote evidence.
No, quote unquote, to get content.
Well, I don't think.
Do it for the TikTok.
Hey,
One of my coworkers is up at those protests.
yeah.
Nice.
Old
Is
hippie man.
he the one who kicked in?
I don't know. Maybe I'll
side
ask
mirror?
him.
Maybe.
That reminds me of that one clip where this guy who looks like a hippie or whatever asked this woman to stop videotaping her. And then he does this, like, little dance and then kicks the phone out of her hand.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, I wouldn't know what to do in that kind of predicament.
I mean, what they did was they just drove off and went camping because it was a long weekend and they wanted to go camp and drink beer in the forest.
Nice.
Like good Canadian boys.
Yeah, with their lifted Subarus.
Yeah. Quick, come up with a new topic.
All right. I want to know the last recipe you cooked.
Because we're only in, we have 51 minutes at the moment. Last recipe I made was spicy ginger peanut chicken.
Spicy ginger peanut chicken.
Yeah, it's really good. It tastes like
so like
butter.
a satay kind of.
Explain a satay.
Joel,
help me on this.
Isn't it just basically a chicken that's got a peanut sauce on it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's what it is probably called. Spicy ginger peanut chicken is probably a form of satay. I'm probably wrong. Satay
it was
probably
just
has
in
to
a
have some
cookbook my mom has, so.
Oh, nice.
And I always put a lot of extra spice into it, so it's nice and has a nice bite to it.
Yep.
And then I also put broccoli and rice.
Yeah. And the health in there, Jonborg.
Pardon?
And your body got your bodybuilder diet over there, Jonborg.
It tasted delicious.
Okay, so I was a bit slow on the off the mark here, guys. But definition of sauté is a food that's simply fried in a small amount of fat. That's all it is.
Oh.
No, that's sauté. Sauté. SATAY, I believe. You're doing SAUT. Sorry.
Yep. Yeah, that's exactly right. Exactly right.
So sauté is like French, which I'm probably botching the pronunciation, which is like a flash fry, and then like satay is like a peanut chicken kinda.
It's a recipe. It's not an actual mode of cooking something.
Yes. I think it's just like a kebab that has peanut sauce. I believe it probably has a wider application, like just a kebab with some sauce, but I think most of the time you think of like a peanut butter kind of like based sauce.
That stuff's good.
It looks pretty good.
The first time I ever had it was at like that kind of form. I was in Holland with my grandfather, rest in peace. We went to a Chinese restaurant, and I had peanut butter chicken.
That's
nice.
I kind of find it funny that I went to Holland just
to try Chinese food.
Yeah.
It happens.
And they speak really good Dutch.
Surprising.
I would have never expected them to speak Dutch in Holland.
And I have a last question. Would you become immortal if you could?
Wasn't that in the last one?
True. We're just seeing if we changed our answer.
I think it
Hold on.
wasn't.
But,
No.
hold on. Before we move on, no, not everyone has answered what
Oh.
they have made.
That's
Yeah.
true, John Borg. I got
had a
like
really good meal the other day.
I got 13 more questions, John Borg.
Oh
Don't worry.
shoot.
I got
Oh
hours.
shoot. I
if
feel
we need.
I feel really dumb. I completely overshot everybody. Forgive me, co-host.
Never, John Borg. Never
I had
forgiven.
Dutch Chinese chicken.
Chinese chicken, nice.
What was that?
What?
Like, what was that like?
Dutch Chinese chicken? I don't know. I had to
Oh,
go to
it's-
Holland for it.
Oh.
he's teasing John Borg.
You.
Very good.
I
Alright,
don't know,
Jordo.
actually. Go on, Jordan.
Oh, yes. So I have been vegetarian for about a year and a half, except at Joel's wedding last summer. I
Hog.
decided to not
A
be vegetarian
man.
for that
A
week.
man of
Uh,
culture, Hog.
So
A
I've
fellow
had to,
intellectual. Nice to see.
I've had to adapt my diet a little bit. But I made this really delicious meal a few days ago, and they were roasted zucchini lentil boats with chickpea quinoa salad, and they're really really
Okay.
good. I'm not a
But-
big fan of zucchini, but oh my goodness, it's so good. So you cook the lentils and then like mix it with marinara sauce and some like spices and stuff. And then you roast it, you hollow out the zucchini, and you cook the zucchini with the lentils, and then you fill the zucchini back in, and then you roast it in the oven. And it's just really good.
This
Hmm.
sounds
So-
like a Middle Eastern kind of food. I've seen some where they like fill
yeah,
up.
I think it was like Mediterranean.
Yeah, they'll take like a
Yeah.
pepper, they'll chop the top of the pepper, cook the like rice in the middle of the pepper, and then like put the top back on, or a zucchini
Yeah,
or a pumpkin or a squash or whatever it is.
Seems like
Stuffed peppers are good too, yeah.
Seems like vegetarianism is on the rise.
John Berg, would you like to know
I
why?
have to be stopped,
Trip
John.
warning to all your guests.
Pardon?
It's because 4 years of higher education, the more likely you are to be a vegan or vegetarian. Coincidence? Nah.
I don't. What was the coincidence? I didn't get the first part.
It's just basically like the more years of schooling, the more likely you are to be a vegan or vegetarian.
Really?
So it just
2
makes
degrees
sense.
and 7 years of school, so.
Well, it makes sense other than like meat tastes good, me like meat, woo, which is perfectly fine if you want to be that way. But
I like rice.
environmentally, it makes no sense.
I like
to,
meat with rice
It's
and like
fair.
curry.
That is fair.
Are you a vegetarian too?
I'm a little. I would call myself a planetarian.
Nice.
As
So-
long as you guys aren't vegan. No.
Basically, it's like vegan with a couple other extra rules, I guess. It's more just like the impact the food has. So something like chocolate is just as water intensive as producing beef per kilogram. However, like or almonds or cashews and all those kinds of things, they're not all like perfect foods. Just because like one is plant based doesn't mean it's good. So I
Right.
kind of avoid most nuts, and when I say nuts, I don't mean peanuts because they're not nuts. And
Nuts.
technically, cashews and almonds aren't nuts either. But
Wait,
like,
what? They're not?
Whoa! You can't just bring this up at the end of the podcast when we can't talk about this. This is too much.
they're not nuts. They're a droop.
legumes.
Cashews,
Oh,
cashews.
Well,
I-
peanuts are a legume, but like cashews are.
What makes
they
a
come from
nut?
droop.
Not a nut.
Well, you'll have to take a third-year botany course like I did, and then you'll
But-
learn that vegetables are a lie.
Well, yeah.
But-
I-
But yeah, basically like nuts. The only nuts we know of are like hazelnuts and acorns, and then everything else is not really a true nut, but colloquially we'll call like almonds, cashews, nuts.
Hey, Troy, I didn't need to take a botany class to know that plants are alive. Ooh.
No, a lie.
Plants are a lie.
A lie. Vegetables are a
Vegetables.
lie, John. Boy.
No, I said alive.
Yes,
Yeah.
I know. But
Which is not
Troy
what
said
I
a lie.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, because vegetables don't exist. They're like nothing is a vegetable.
It's just a food group that society
It's-
made.
It's a food group that you pick and choose what's in and what's not. So like a tomato is a fruit, a zucchini is a fruit, kale is a fruit, but the things we eat are the leaves, not the fruiting body. Yeah.
That reminds
or-
me, we eat the root of a carrot and not the leaves.
True. You could eat the leaves, but it wouldn't be very tasty, I don't think.
I also learned that rhubarb leaves are poisonous.
Yes.
And how did you learn that?
I was talking to my dad. I'm like, hey, couldn't we make salad out of, because we got a bunch of rhubarb.
Yep.
Like it's huge, right? So I'm like, hey, couldn't we just make a salad out of rhubarb? And my dad's like, no, those are poisonous. I'm like, oh.
You know what you should do one night, John, is you should make your dad a nice salad.
No.
Use a lot of dressing so he can't exactly see what kind of,
I don't want to poison my dad.
lettuce is on there and be like, yeah, no, I made you a special salad. And you'd be like, oh, wow, this is really good. What is it? No, not actually poison him, but make him think you made a rhubarb salad.
No.
Yeah.
Big leaves.
Jonborg's not aware of the prank culture nowadays.
Oof. Okay, yeah. Final thought on that, John. Don't poison your dad.
No.
Yeah, that's a bad. That's
So
a
what
bad
did
call.
you make, Joel, to eat?
The last recipe you have cooked or followed.
Last recipe I followed? If we're going on recipes in the broad general term, the last recipe I probably followed was baking chocolate chip cookies.
Very nice. The classic 1-1-1. 1 cup of butter, 1
Classic.
brown sugar, 1 sugar.
Oh no, get on my level, man. You gotta know that I use the recipe that comes on the Chip-Its bag.
Ah,
I like the
Very good.
I like the Reese's Pieces peanut butter squares recipe.
Whoa, John. My wife and I both have jobs, but that's a little rich for our taste.
What?
We buy the jumbo bags at Costco and we just churn out chocolate chip cookies. And if we're feeding
my man.
nuts, but they're not
So-
nuts anymore, we add legumes.
Legumes.
Peanuts.
Yes, we add
Bean.
legumes.
Call it bean butter.
We add not nuts, whatever we're calling them now.
Hey,
Nuts.
okay, no, you can call them nuts, but they're not true nuts.
We add nuts that are
Like- If I were to give you
They're
the
artificial
equivalent,
nuts.
an almond is the equivalent to a peach pit.
okay.
So if you
Easy.
eat-
So
if
we
you-
make
Yeah.
So they're seeds.
Well, yeah. An almond is. A cashew's not. It's on the bottom, but it's definitely not a nut. That's for sure.
So now I'm gonna be making chocolate chip peach pit cookies, all because of you, Troy.
Well, they're not peach pits literally, but they are. A peach is a drupe. An almond is also a drupe. Both of the part of the almond we eat is like the inner hard, stony layer.
So is a pepper a drupe as well, since it droops?
It's DRUPE, capital D. But I don't think a pepper is.
But
Uh,
it like
Dang, I
kinda-
think Troy should be fact boy.
it
I
ca-
believe a pepper is in the same family as a tomato and a potato.
yeah.
If I do remember
what?
correctly.
A potato is in the same family as a tomato?
I believe so, because in one segment of our botany class, we learned about the most economically important groups of or families of plants, and it was like tobacco, tomato, potato, and I believe it was peppers.
Why tobacco?
Cigarettes.
Because people buy cigarettes.
yeah, but
It's
we don't
economically
need 'em.
important.
we don't need them.
That's
No way.
true. We also don't need coffee or tea, but look at what happens, or sugar.
Okay, guess what, guys? Dave's Garden says that tomatoes, peppers, potatoes, and eggplants are all from a single plant family.
Yep.
Nightshade.
Almost like I got 92% in my botany course. Hey.
Yeah.
I
Nice.
think I did get one of them wrong, but yeah.
It's fascinating, biology and what, botany?
Botany, yep. Plants, plant biology or botany.
Wait.
I
was
was
gonna
gonna tell you what I tried to make.
Okay, what
I
did you try to make?
I tried to make
I know
strawberry
that's what-
candy.
Oh,
However,
never mind.
so I was cooking in my kitchen. It was getting real hot, so I had my shirt off. You can imagine. I got strawberries.
imagine.
It's burned in easy mind forever, basically.
Mhm.
I have a cup of strawberries and 2 cups of sugar, and I'm cooking the sugar and the strawberries after I blended the strawberries in my 2 liter stock pot. saucepan, and the recipe says I need to get it above like 378 Fahrenheit, which is like 120
You have to
Celsius or
keep
something like that.
stirring it.
And I have to keep stirring it so the bottom doesn't burn.
Yeah.
And it does not want to get to this temperature because I guess there's enough moisture in there that needs to evaporate before it gets there. And so like I'm stirring for like 35 minutes, and I can't put it down because as soon as I stop stirring, it'll burn. And I got my like radar gun thermometer, like not a temperature probe, but like a
laser.
infrared thermometer. Yeah. A laser. And I'm trying to sit there with the laser with one arm and stir quickly with the other arm, and it starts flashing on me. And like it's super hot, and I got like no clothes on because it's also just I've been there for 35 minutes and vigorously whisking, and it was supposed to settle. So once you
I
get
think
it to this
you
temperature,
had to put more strawberries in it or something, maybe.
well, so the only reason it didn't work, it tastes very good. The only reason it didn't work, like the ratio to strawberry and sugar is pretty good, I think, is I needed to get it to a certain temperature, which I don't think I got it there, so that when you pour it, and let it set, I guess, it's supposed to have like a hard, crunchy texture. Well, it did not get a hard, crunchy texture. Instead, it was like basically jam.
Yeah,
sorry, I should say strawberry, sugar, and pectin.
it's like
Oh,
something
not
you would put on a pancake.
Not quite. It was more like a Jello that was like a little bit thicker, if
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Put it on a cake. Cheesecake.
Yes, and I cut it in little cubes, dusted it in some icing sugar, and now I've frozen them so that they.
Oh.
Okay, and the weird thing is, 2 of the like 35 pieces that I made were crunchy, and they were amazing. And the other 33 or whatever, I haven't eaten them all yet, but I don't think they're crunchy. So that means I was like so close to getting the right temperature, but I didn't quite make it there because I was too much of a wimp and didn't want to get scalded.
Well, your first problem was you took your shirt off.
Well, Jonborg, no, that was not the first problem. The first problem was I got way too warm. And so I needed to take my shirt off. I needed to set up a fan. And
You
like
needed to get a glass of water.
Well, I was drinking water. It was like I was Ethan in the metal shop, basically.
Yeah. Except I can't take my clothes off in the metal shop.
Yeah.
Well, Ethan likes to say he can.
And you hopefully
just
don't
had
eat
a-
what you
Keep
make.
this between us.
But we've all seen what goes on. Snapchat.
I'm just having
words,
flash-
leg.
You're having flashbacks?
I'm having flashbacks to Quinn's wedding day when we were at Quinn's dad's house and we were all in our suits and Troy got really, really hot. It was like a warm day, but it wasn't like super
Oh,
hot.
yeah.
Oh, it was
Troy
warm.
got really,
It was
really
hot.
hot.
Dude, I never have to wear clothes normally, and then like I had to. Also, not my fault, but I was given like the most pulpy orange drink. What are they called again?
Is it
Orange,
with alcohol?
Yeah,
orange
orange
juice,
juice,
orange juice,
sparkling wine,
and
right?
champagne. Yeah,
Those are
The
good.
mimosa?
Mimosas.
Yeah.
yeah, mimosa.
And when I
Um,
and you can attest that when I drink alcohol, I also get very warm. So
Yep.
my shirt normally comes off, and it was warm already, and I had to wear a long sleeve shirt and a tie. So this was like the perfect combination. There's no way I could keep shirt on.
So he took his shirt off, but then he passed out on the couch for like half an hour.
Yeah, it was great.
I thought
And
we
then
were-
your shirt also came off when we were dancing that night too.
true. Also
Right.
drunk and also warm. So there's a combination for it. It's
Man.
not a surprise. These things
It
are
sounds
just
like a good time.
logical. It was pretty
was a
fun.
fun time.
I would say. I think like
I think
most
it was fun.
weddings is more fun to be in
At-
the audience, like whatever you want to call those,
Yeah.
than the people who are.
It would
up
be
front.
fun to actually go to a wedding. Ah!
Hey, it's hey, who knows? One of these
I
days.
I have also a question for Cam. What did he make?
I'm here. What was the question? I'm playing
What was
blanking.
the last recipe you've either followed or cooked?
Mm,
Any potato recipes out there? The Potato Man?
I kind of just boiled them.
Hey, the boiled potato recipe. Very nice.
I like them barbecued.
I followed the directions on the chicken tendies box.
Nice.
Very good. Very
Solid.
Oh,
Wait, Cam, are you following directions on a
what?
You kind of cut out.
Oh,
there.
chicken
sorry,
tendies
you cut
box
out.
to boil potatoes? Oh, I was just gonna ask, are you following
Oh,
the
no.
directions on a chicken tendies box to boil potatoes?
No.
Okay, I was gonna say, because I
Unrelated.
think it's lying to you.
I think also Cam is just a little bit above that intelligence level. But
I don't know. Sometimes I don't know what the ideal temperature to put the oven is when you're cooking the tendies. I'm like,
well,
the
I
density
think
of
it's
these
actually just a
tendies?
function of time and heat, so it doesn't really matter as long as you
375
get the time
degrees
right.
Fahrenheit, probably.
415.
Unless you're like frying them yourselves, like a chicken tender, I believe is already fried, so you're just reheating them. Whereas, like, if you were to try to cook a steak to be like a medium rare or something, then it might matter the temperature a little more.
Actually, you can get chicken tenders at Costco that you cannot just eat out of the bag. Like there are giant warnings on the bag that says, you have to
So
actually
like
cook
raw
this.
chicken.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it's raw chicken. It's
Those are
really
the best
good.
tendies.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah, they
they
are very
deep fry them here.
I was just imagining like I was 5 at Jordo's house and we were eating chicken tendies and it's like they're like already pre-breaded or whatever.
You could have
You know,
gotten
like
salmonella.
every time we were like little kids and we're like chicken tenders or whatever, you can eat those like frozen. I'm pretty sure, because I think they're already cooked.
I was some doubts, but
What? No, there's no way. Hey, I don't got to worry about that. I get like salmonella from beans or something. Botulism.
True.
Did
All
you
right, I
say
gotta go
beans?
quick. I did say beans. Uh-oh.
Speaking of beans, does anyone want a bean plant?
Nope.
Bean plant. Is it got some
It's a
runner
it's,
beans?
it's a sprout.
John, do you deliver?
Yeah. Put it in the
Uh,
post. Send it to Joel.
You have
Give
to
it to
pay for
Cam.
shift. You have to pay for shipping.
No, just give it to Cam and he'll float it to me from the boat.
But yeah, like I got a bunch of. Sorry, Jordan.
Can I get delivery to Edmonton? Is that possible? Will you drive all the way here to bring this bean plant?
Pay for.
I
my
have a
gas.
balcony with no plant.
Pay for my gas.
Let's see what you could do.
Well, depending on what you drive, it's like only like $80 in gas to get here.
If I had a free day, maybe. But I got a bunch
Oh,
of.
yeah, for one day, Jonborg? How fast are you going?
You can,
You
Troy.
can
I
make it
drive
in one day.
Yeah, you can.
every time I drive between Victoria and Edmonton. I do. It's only about a 12
Okay,
hour
when
drive.
you say
and then
one
the
day, are you
ferry,
saying
so-
24 hours or are you saying like 10 hours? Because
Uh,
isn't it close to 20 hours? 10 hours there, 10 hours back?
I thought it was 8
Oh,
hours.
the drive? No. The drive from the ferry terminal to my house in Edmonton is about 12 hours. So it would take
so
24
like
hours from the ferries.
yeah.
Yeah, what I
you
would see,
gotta
what I
be-
would do is, I would go to Vancouver, spend the night at my Uncle Ben's, then I would drive all the way to Edmonton.
Who are you, Spider-Man?
Uncle Ben said,
No, he
Uh,
just owns the rice.
Damn.
all of it. Every rice grain he owns.
But yeah, I got a bunch of also habanero saplings too, or would they be considered
Ooh.
saplings? No, I think there's a better term for
Uh,
it. Seedling?
Are they? Did they come up after
Yeah, I think
like,
seedlings
the
is right.
first plant, or are they like separately planted?
I just put them in a bunch of. You know how like you can buy flower things in those like plastic things.
Yep, the flower pots.
So
Plastic flower
once my
pot.
mom put all the flowers away, I just used the plastic pods and then put dirt in it, put the seeds over the dirt, and then put more dirt on it, and then they just
Okay.
started growing. So
But it's not like you have one big pepper plant and these are the offshoots. They're just their own.
no.
Yeah, they're probably seedlings then, I would call them.
Yeah, I got a bunch.
If I can figure out how to grow them and find some pots around my house, I might take you up on that. That
I
would
can
be
give you
nice.
a pot.
Oh no, Jonborg, don't tempt me with the marijuana.
My dad tried to grow some.
I think, isn't it 3 plants per person or something?
I don't
Oh.
know.
Per household.
Per household. Yeah.
Uh,
All right,
wait,
I got
we
a
have
question
one more
for you guys.
question. One more
Oh, I
question.
got lots, but we're gonna go through
Let's do
one more?
2 more.
2 more. Okay. We're gonna go over or underrated. tell you something. You tell me. Obviously, if you've seen it or know of it, which I think most of these things you do. If it's over or underrated. First off, the anime show on Amazon Prime. It's called Invincible. I know some of you have either started watching it or either have watched it. Over or underrated so far?
Can it be in between?
No, we have
Because it's
to.
not overrated and it's also not underrated.
Okay, so it's what you expected then.
Yeah,
It's good.
Okay.
like it's really good. It's just it is hyped up, but it's for
People
a good
also
cause.
said it's very good. Yeah.
Yeah,
I heard people say it was really good. I heard people compare it to say it was better than The Boys.
It
And
is. I mean, well,
I,
it actually
for
has
John
a
Borg,
plot.
everything's subjective, John Borg.
That's true.
We like to validate those people who have the opinion that The Boys is a good show, which it probably is. A little over the top at points.
You haven't seen it, and you're saying it's good.
No, I have seen The Boys. I liked like 80% of the episodes. I really liked, and then 20% of the episodes I was like, that was
Weird.
like, why did they do that? Yeah, it was a little weird.
There's no weird parts in. Well,
I haven't seen Deadpool, but I would put it as like it's gory just to be gory, or it's like offensive just to be offensive. So
yeah, but
not my taste.
I'd say it makes more sense
full of
for
spoilers here, John.
Deadpool. Wait,
no spoilers.
I'm not saying any spoilers. I'm just
I
saying
know.
it,
I'm just
next
saying in
one.
advance.
Over or underrated? Anime.
Deadpool
in
can't
general.
die.
Anime in general, over or underrated? Because we're not talking about an individual anime. If I hear that,
Overrated
we'll go immediately to the next
nowadays.
topic.
It's overrated these days. Trust me, it's
think so?
overrated. Yeah,
I'd say so as well. Overrated.
people have
I
hyped it
also
up
would
too
say
much.
it's overrated. People have said, "Hey, go watch this show." Try to watch it. Can't get through a single episode. I was recommended Cooking Wars, which just turned out to be Booba Simulator.
Oh yeah, you.
Did
why
not
would someone?
like that show.
Why did someone suggest that? That
I don't know. Ask
They-
Michael.
okay.
Ask
Well, okay, Troy. The
Email
artist.
him at michaelunderdown@gmail.com.
Dude, you're gonna get doxxed.
I don't think that's.
I have one thing to say. That
Okay.
the mangaka of that anime was a doujinshi artist
No one knows
before.
what that means.
You solidly
Basically,
lost me.
okay.
A mangaka, no idea what that means. Doujinshi,
Okay.
no idea what that means.
Okay, I'm
Da
sorry.
Da Vinci?
Okay, just it's basically a lewd comic.
Okay. So
So
basically,
he drew,
NSFW manga.
he did not safe for work stuff before he made his the
It all
cooking
makes sense now.
Yeah.
Okay. I have only watched one series that I actually liked, unless you count Invincible, because I did like that.
That's Western.
I've only
animation.
watched one that I actually liked,
Oh.
so I'm gonna say it's overrated
Watch
a lot.
the Last Airbender if you can.
I watched that as a kid, I guess, but
No,
I don't
like
count
go
that.
right through it. Oh, you're done?
Nope. I can't watch things twice, John Boy.
Oh.
You know what? I
mean-
think for me, I'm gonna say it's underrated, simply because I'd never seen any anime, and some friends of mine for Christmas they wanted to get together and do a watch party, and we were having a bit of a problem deciding on what to watch. And for me, like I knew that a bunch of the people in our group were into anime, and so I was like, you know what? I'll give it a chance. Like we'll watch a Studio Ghibli movie because I know. Like it's pretty like bog standard stuff. I've heard about it a lot. Like if
Hey,
you're
you're
gonna watch
picking
an
the
anime,
cream of the crop there, though. I'm
Like,
pretty
that's
sure
like-
those movies are the best of the best.
well, Troy, that's my point. Like
yeah, they're very
I would have
good.
never tried it at all. But when I did, we watched Porco Rosso, which is this
Oh,
amazing
yeah.
story about a pig who's like in a plane and he like
Goroso.
I don't
Oh. he
we
was
highly
so-
recommend. And by the end of it, I was loving it. And so I think it's underrated simply because before that moment, I was thinking, oh, anime, from what I've heard of it, it's not for me. I'm never gonna enjoy it. I doubt
Alright.
I'd enjoy most anime, but I stayed away because of what I'd heard, and I think I would have missed out on some good stuff if I'd stayed away completely. So I'm gonna say underrated.
Okay, fair enough. All right. Next one. Unless the Weeb Smasher himself has anything to say.
What is the question?
Is
Anime
anime
over or underrated?
Overrated. 100%.
Wow, I
As
didn't
we
see that
predicted.
coming. Oh. What about Jordan?
I'm not enough of a weeb yet, and I've never really watched anime. I think the only anime I've ever seen was the Flying Castle one.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
Howl's Flying
in,
Castle
like-
or something like
I
that.
was Flying Castle.
Are-
That sounds
are you
some
talking-
good music.
Are you talking about Castle in the Sky?
I don't know. I
okay.
don't remember. Yeah, I've never really watched
Oh wait,
anime,
it's
but
Howl's Moving Castle,
Yeah.
not flying.
yeah,
Ah.
this is a point of contention with me and my roommates though, because they always say that I'm a huge weeb, and I'm
What?
like, no, I'm not a weeb at all, and they're like, no, you're a weeb. I'm like, but I'm not a weeb, and they always make fun of me and they say I'm a weeb because they know it drives me insane.
I see
But
those
it's kind of funny.
posters in your room, Jordan.
Tell
What
them
posters?
to talk to me, and then they'll figure out who.
Talk to
Real-
Jonborg.
No. He needs.
What
They
a
need
real
to talk.
Weeb sounds like.
They need to talk to Welding Helmet Boy.
Yeah,
It's mostly just
That's-
a meme with my roommates, but
that's
Yeah.
weird.
If I
I'm-
if I can add one thing to this whole kind of conversation is that it is actually because it's so like the whole anime thing. And I know Troy said you're not singling out an anime; it's just anime in general. However, it's just I think you can find it's like any movies too. It's like you can find a movie that's for you. You can probably find an anime that's for you, but everything else you probably won't like. It's just
Yeah.
you might be able to find something that is for you.
Yeah.
Well, I've tried multiple times. The only one I've
You've
come
you've tried
successful is.
suggestions of from people multiple
Which
times.
is true, but these people know me, and I'm not gonna drudge through the
These people
wasteland that
also
is
shoot
anime.
you in video games when you're on the
I
same
probably
team.
could find a good one that you would enjoy, but I mean,
All right.
but I wouldn't push it on you. Like,
I'm
But-
not watching 900 episodes of pirate anime.
no, I'm
One
not.
Piece.
If anything, I would just suggest Full Metal Alchemist. That's pretty.
Are you calling
I'm
me
on
basic,
episode
Jonborg?
332.
Okay, 300. Oh boy. I'm
on
gonna say
episode
the
332.
format of the individual episodes is a big debate. So,
It is,
like
it's-
a movie where you watch a movie and you're disappointed because it was like a waste of 2 hours. When you watch an anime, it's a waste of like 8 hours plus
Yep.
because you watch it and you're like, nothing happened. Okay, I got to see this thing happen.
When
Okay,
I
nothing happened. I got to see this thing happen. And rinse, repeat 10 times,
Well-
and then you finally find out like, oh, he's got a stomach problem. He's dying or something.
when I
That's what I
when
feel.
when we graduated, right, 2014 in summer, I just watched One Piece, and I just kept going and going. I'm like, oh, just one more episode, just one more episode, just one more episode, and like, there's a part in the episodes where they waste 5 minutes of recap, so I always skip that.
Yeah.
A good idea.
Also, it's a meme for the One Piece anime where the title literally says what happens in the episode, and it's true.
It's true.
It's like
Edge.
Luffy, defeats this pirate of some sort, and then
Wait, so
it's
you're
like,
telling me I just read all the titles and get the main story?
you can
probably
basically
could.
get the general story
Okay.
of One Piece out of the titles.
Avoided watching pirate anime already.
There you
Go
go.
read all the titles. Okay, the
Yeah.
next thing I had on the list was Steam, because I know we're all avid gamers, or at least
Ooh,
most
that's
of us
a-
are.
I want to say
a
overrated,
console
but I
guy.
don't like Epic. I don't like Epic.
Are we still
I-
on the under overrated?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a
I was-
Mac, so I say it's overrated because I can't play anything. So,
True.
I think Apple is overrated.
Correct.
I was-
you're also right.
I was gonna say, like, when I first thought about it, I was along the lines of like, oh, wow, there's no way Steam isn't overrated because their services are like pretty bad. There's a lot of problems, but then I was like, well, nobody else has been able to do the same kind of service and run it at a profit and be like, and have the same kind of like user base. And so it is nice, similar to like Facebook or Twitter, where it's like if all your friends use it, well, you're kind of forced to use it. And Steam is like it has that, but at the same time, like Epic's tried, didn't really work. They're losing a bunch of money using Epic, which I think is just because they give away their games and stuff. But it's not successful. There's like the EA, what's that one called? Origin.
Origins, yeah.
Origin, yeah.
And then
Origin doesn't really work.
there's the
Or- well-
Blizzard launcher as well.
Battle.net.
Yeah, BattleNet's. I would actually say BattleNet is not really that buggy. It's pretty good, but it's just like it doesn't have all the platforms, right? So like you're not
Yeah.
going to get an indie game on the Blizzard launcher.
And you can't
Yeah.
forget Bethesda launcher.
Nice. Yep. Yeah, I was gonna say it was overrated, but I'm actually pretty sure it's underrated because, it's kind of just like there has to be a company out there that wants like to not lose 30% on their game, but everybody goes through Steam because like it's either the easiest or just like gets the most eyeballs, just most user friendly.
And
I
I don't
think so.
I always
Yeah.
wonder why what would happen if Steam like just gets shut off. Do I not own all these games anymore then?
True. I believe you can still have your physical copy. You can actually run some of your games that like require an online connection through Steam, but you have to do a couple workarounds
Yeah,
if
I'm
you wanted
pretty
to play
sure.
single player.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I mean, obviously there's Steam network, like servers would be down, but any sort of single player game, like I've got like Metro Exodus, let's say, or The Witcher, right? Those games have been downloaded on my PC. I'm pretty sure you can have Steam like closed on your computer, but then still play The Witcher. Steam is just a launcher.
There's workarounds, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. The next one on the list. Now, y'all know me. You know my answer. The next one, over or underrated exercise.
Underrated.
Good. Nice. Yeah, it's got to be underrated.
It depends on who
It's-
you're talking to.
Now, everybody.
Hold on. No. If you're talking to my brother,
It's overrated. True. Contest prep's pretty hard.
Wait,
I love
what?
exercise. I went for 2 runs. I went on Sunday and Monday, and I just went running for an hour, and now on both days, and I just have nasty blisters on my feet. But I feel so good.
I don't care
True.
for running, but I do enjoy a good hike and pumping some weights and gardening.
Actually, you know what,
Gardening
John?
as an exercise.
John, you bring up a good point. I'm gonna say it's underrated because people think that exercise sometimes is just like the running or the weightlifting or all of that like
You're
specific
saying
stuff.
it's not, Joel?
I'm saying that you can
Joel's
exercise
saying
by
it's
going out
only
and like
painting.
you get your calf raises on the ladder. Otherwise, you're doing it wrong. No,
You get your
what I'm saying
bicep
is
curls from the paint cans.
that's right. You're lifting fivers all day, and if you're not curling them while you're carrying them to and from where you need them, you're not doing it right.
Hey, Joel, you can become Karate Kid. Just follow the instructions of Mr. Miyazaki and with like how you paint.
I don't think that I should be
Wax on, wax off the paint? Is that what that's from?
paint on, paint on. Yeah. I don't think my boss would be too happy with me doing the paint off step. But what I was saying, John, that you brought me back to is that I think there's lots of things that people do that could be labeled as exercise in terms of it's good for your heart, it's good for like, burning off calories that they don't realize they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure that you can have lots of physical labor jobs that are exercise, which is good. Yeah.
And make sure to lift with your legs.
Well, unless you're doing upper body, right? It's not legs.
I meant
John.
like if you're doing a labor job.
Oh yes. Yeah,
Mm.
most of the time.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
'Cause the amount of
Unless you want to
people-
sacrifice body for the company, that's sometimes required.
I wouldn't.
No, sounds
Alright.
like you want to be employed.
I have a quick one for that underrated or overrated.
Mhm.
Going outside to touch grass.
That makes me not be able to breathe. So
Also,
Allergic
Jordan,
to
is
grass.
there even grass visible out there?
Underrated.
what?
Didn't you say it was snowing like a week ago or something?
It did snow a week ago, but it didn't stick, so it's warm.
Oh,
It was
okay.
like 20 degrees the other day here.
Nice.
It was warm today.
There's no. The ice melted about 3 weeks ago. Like there's no ice on the riverbanks anymore. So
Wait, is the grass stay under the snow year long or no?
yeah, actually, you know what's
Yes,
really
sir.
cool is like because all the leaves fall in autumn, right? But then it snows, and then they just are frozen for half the year. So then you get like it's called snow mold, and a lot of
Yep.
people are allergic to snow
I'm
mold
very allergic to
'cause-
snow mold.
the leaves are
What?
like
Snow
so like the first
mold?
few weeks. The first few weeks of spring here, it looks like fall because all the trees are dead, but all the leaves are still on the ground because they've been frozen for 5 months.
I've never
Yeah.
heard of snow mold. That's actually pretty. It makes sense that it would happen.
Yeah.
I'm very allergic to snow mold.
Huh.
Coming from
Yeah,
Alberta myself.
Snow
So
mold
you
allergies.
fleed the snow mold.
Yeah, I don't have it out here. It's great.
Do you
yeah.
have one more, Troy, or
Um, 2 more.
one more?
Uh,
We're at 1:30.
All right. Watching sports over. Oh, and
Overrated.
esports, I guess.
Overrated.
Overrated.
Yeah,
It's only good if it's live and you're at the event in person.
I mean that.
I'm
makes
gonna
sense.
Except
say-
if it's baseball, because watching baseball live sucks.
I
That's a
would do
bad
that
vote.
any day over TV.
Depends on how good the hot dogs
As
are.
I've always said, I'd rather just play the sport than watch the sport.
Baseball's the only professional sport I've been to live. Like I saw a Blue Jays game once in Toronto, but
You've
I've never been to like a
you've never
professional
seen a
hockey or anything.
hockey game live?
Not like NHL, but
Oh.
like I've been up. My brothers played hockey growing up, so I saw like their games all the
'Cause
time. But
I've seen the Royals.
I've never been to a professional
The
game.
Royals play.
Oh yeah, I've seen the Royals too, but like I'm talking like NHL. I like going to hockey games, but I've never seen like professional before. But I'm sure
If
it'd be
I'm-
a lot of fun.
If I'm being honest, the only thing I keep up with is Rocket League. That's the only thing I actually watch.
It is esport. It is an esport.
Yeah, that's the
Oh,
only thing I
Troy,
watch.
are
I keep up. Oh, actually, you
esports-
know what? MMA.
Oh
Esports are sports, Jonborg.
Wow, I feel like MMA is getting more popular recently.
no, Troy. What I was gonna say is esports overrated or underrated?
Yeah, this is why I believe sports are underrated because esport are so underrated.
Chess.
True.
It's so nice just to watch something, know what's going on. Like the viewer experience for esports is so much better. Well, and this is not ubiquitous across all games. Like I would say some first-person shooters, it's actually quite hard to follow what's going on. But if you play most of the games, like Rocket League, or if you played a MOBA, or you played like CS:GO, you can pick up like a lot of like what you're doing wrong, and it's actually kind of interesting. And you can even have it on your second monitor and play at the same time.
What?
Whereas like watching professional soccer, as somebody who's played soccer a lot, is so useless for me because none of my teammates are as fit as fast as them. I'm not as fit or as fast as them, and like there's just so good that it's like, oh yeah, of course, why can't I make a 20-yard pass on the ground perfectly at a really fast pace?
But Troy,
It's
I could
not
say the
useless.
same thing. I have poor reaction time. I'm not as fast as those esports players.
Yeah, but you can. I think you can pick up stuff most of the time.
yeah.
Very few times. I think esports are just like, yeah. I just like watching. I've watched, I think, Dota every international for like 6 years now, and it is like, yeah, it's like a week of like nice, relaxing content, pretty entertaining, and you get like the storylines too. Watching your favorite Melee players, watching your favorite StarCraft players, whatever it is.
I will say one thing. I definitely enjoyed watching StarCraft 2 more than I ever did when it came to League of Legends when I was in that kind of... Like, watching that, I had no interest at all. But, like, when it came to StarCraft, I was like, oh, that's kind of funny what people can pull off and stuff.
Yeah, I think that might be the difference, like, strategy game on a MOBA.
You need a higher IQ.
I mean, you need some fast fingers to keep up with the Koreans.
So, I think that will end this episode, and thank you for listening, if you still are.
Blessings.
Yes, please listen to this on iTunes and Spotify and anywhere else you would like to find this.
Give him the send-off, Jonborg. What'd you say last week? That if you're listening,
If you're
to
even
this,
listening to this podcast,
yeah,
then what are you doing?
I can't remember what you said. Shoot.
No, I think I
that's
said
good.
thank you for listening to this. If you are.
If you are, yeah,
You
and then
are.
I said
Like,
you
wait.
have to be listening to it if you heard it.
Yeah. Thank
That's
you.
a good one.
Peace off.